Hey fashionistas, just doing a video for the blog to recap the big announcement that we made on Saturday, which if you've read up on the blog or any of the newspaper articles and or Facebook posts that we've made, we are doing our online store. It went live at 2 o'clock on Saturday, November 21st. It was a project that we've been working on since March, meaning my husband and I. And we conceived the idea to take this online in March. But as you know, an online store is a totally different way of doing business. So we had to make sure that it made a lot of sense to the customer and that it made sense for us as the actual curators of that site. So I came to Dustin with the idea in March, and it seemed really simple and very straightforward. But of course, you have to find a web designer, and it has to be the right web designer, and you have to find a company that you're going to do shipping with. And I'll talk more about not only how we made the decisions leading up to the launch on Saturday, but I'll talk about why we went with some of the companies that we went with as far as shipping and the web page and the web page designer. So let's take it a step back prior to March. And I'm going to give a quick synopsis of where Upshift has come from and how far we've come. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because it's really going to share with you the personal journey that I've gone on, and then the professional journey or the entrepreneurial journey that Dustin and I have gone on together, and how we conceived the idea of Upshift, the swapping system, and how we really brought that to the Madison community, and how now with this online store we're bringing it to the community throughout the entire country. So, and really what that looks like and why I'm sharing this information. So I conceived of the idea of Upshift on January 20th, 2009. So that was, let's see, 6 years ago. And if it was me and I've shopped at Upshift, I'd say, wait a second, you've only been open for 2 years. Well, the reality is that we couldn't find anyone to back us financially. And so I wrote the business plan the day that Obama was inaugurated. I still remember it, sitting there drinking a glass of wine, and I wrote it in red pen. And in fact, for the presentation last Saturday, I went and found those red notes, and it was really funny to see my handwriting from so many years ago with this idea of what Upshift was going to become. And I really did have a lot of foresight, but I also had a lot of flexibility to allow it to change as time went on, as hard as that sometimes can be. And so I wrote the business plan, and then I emailed Dustin the next day, and I saved the email, and I found the two together. And so I emailed him on January 21st, 2009, and I basically told him my idea. And I said, this is what I want to do. I'm pretty firm on that. I've made an irreversible decision. We're going to open a swap shop, and it's going to be in Madison, Wisconsin. Here's where I share some personal information. Dustin relocated here, and he lived here 9 months before I joined him because I had to finish up a part of my career that I was working on in Minnesota with this wonderful company that I'm still a firm believer in and still have a lot of connections with. But I knew that I needed to join him and move to Madison, and it was a hard decision, but the right decision. So I knew that the next phase was to open Upshift. And I moved here in the summer of 2009, and I met with financial institutions here in Madison, and I was continually told no, that they would not lend to us because the swapping system is an unproven business model, meaning that we conceived of it and there's nothing like it out there. And it was really hard to hear no over and over again, but hindsight, I realized that that was the reality at the time and that it was meant to be. I'm going to turn down my music on here. And so Dustin asked me to maybe put it aside and revisit it later on. So we did. We put it aside for 2 years, and then when I did revisit it, I knew that the next phase was to open up the swap shop, but on my own terms. And so we financed it on our own. And that's really taking a risk, but I totally believed in what we were doing. And so I opened it in an underground private location, and we did just private parties once a week. And we gained a cult following, and then we were able to take that money and put it in savings, knowing that we could then dump it back into the business, which we did in 2013 when we opened our location on East Johnson Street at 836 East Johnson. And we dumped the money back in. We recreated this amazing space. We're still there 2 years later, and we love it. And I knew, though, that there had to be this next level. And so this is where we go back to March of 2015. And I told Dustin the idea. I actually emailed him again. I don't think I saved that email. But I just said, this is what I think we should do. And so we researched and found a web designer, and we realized that in order to make this a reality that we would need funding, and that it would have to come from outside of Dustin and I, because we really have dumped a lot, not dumped, but really invested a lot into the Upshift concept. So we actually knew we needed to create a Kickstarter account. So we did that, and that actually will go live soon, either today or tomorrow. And so that's where I need your help. Tell our story, get the word out there so that people can invest in Upshift. We're only looking for $4,000, which anyone who's a business owner knows that that's not much, but that's really all it'll take to make this online business a success. We are a live online business. We know we can sustain the orders that come in, which they are, and we are sustaining them. However, we need just some additional funding so going forward that we are able to grow with the online business. So we're going to blast that out all over our social media, and I need help from customers, family and friends, and any acquaintances, friends of friends, to give to that Kickstarter. It can be $5, it can be $100, it doesn't matter the amount. However, if we don't reach our goal of $4,000, we don't get the money. I do know that we can exceed it, and that's what we're hoping for. So let all your friends and family know about our story and why we do what we do, which, to remind you, Upshift is a clothing swap where women bring in clothes, or they send in their clothes from the online business, and we hang those clothes, and those clothes go to another good home, and then we refill the customer's bag with whatever they want from the boutique, or we refill that shipping container to send to that customer all new stylist picked items. And really, it's all about sustainability, keeping items out of the landfill, just having the smallest carbon footprint you could possibly have when it comes to your fashion. And that's what we do. So with the online business, what it is it's $49.99, which includes all your shipping and a professional stylist picking out your items. So if you go to our webpage, which is www.upshiftswapshop.com, and I'll scroll that up along the bottom, you'll be prompted to take a survey. The survey is really easy. You can make it what you want so that the stylist knows what to pick for you. It gets immediately submitted and sent to our stylists. And then when you finish your transaction of the $49.99, you'll get confirmation with a shipping label that you put on a medium flat rate box. Ship whatever unwanted items you don't want in your closet anymore. Ship it to us. We immediately refill it with items and ship it back to you, to your door, and you'll get a whole new wardrobe selection. So we really do believe in the next step, which is the online business. Additionally, we still have our boutique here in Madison. It is only $20 to swap here in Madison. So if you live here, definitely come visit us, 836 East Johnson. And just know that you're getting top-notch items. The stuff is beautiful. I wear 100% Upshift, and as you know, I have a fashion background, so I'm pretty picky about what I wear. But it's only $20, and that covers everything. If you live in, say, Wyoming, and you're sitting there going, well, how come they only have to pay $20? Well, it's because they are driving themselves down, and we don't really have an in-house personal stylist standing there picking items for you, although my staff or volunteers are equipped to help. But there's just this added incentive, and then, of course, the shipping is included in the $49.99. So as far as the shipping goes, what we did is we decided to go with the United States Postal Service. They have more sustainable practices than some of the other shipping companies. You're allowed to reuse the medium-sized flat rate box over and over and over again, meaning when you send it to us, we're filling the exact same box and sending that back to you, and then you can continually do it with future swaps. So we feel like that's a really good sustainable practice, and it's definitely affordable for the customer and for us because the boxes are free. So you don't have to worry about how you're going to track down a box to ship your stuff to us. And then as far as our web designer, we had one, and it didn't work out. That this person ended up moving away, and that's fine. We searched, we looked, we couldn't really find one that was going to give us what we need, because this is such a unique web page that we needed developed. So we actually went with Dustin. So my husband actually created the web page. He's really tech savvy, and it had its moments where we weren't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off, but he figured it out. And so the beautiful web page that you see was created by Dustin Lunt, and he's very talented at it, and it's a very easy to use web page. So we're pretty excited about that component as well. So yeah, so shipping, United States Postal Service, and then all the people that were involved in Upshift and the Upshift Online have always believed in our sustainable practices. So we were pretty happy about how things turned out. That was our announcement on Saturday, was that we are creating this online business. And we need support. We need people to support this. We need it to go viral. And that's where we've proven that not only does the business work and the model work, but we also have proven that our best advertising is word of mouth. So if you actually do the online swap and you enjoyed it, which I know you would because we've already gotten feedback, you send us a testimonial or go on our webpage or on our Facebook page and give a testimonial. It's okay to email us, give a testimonial on how great it is, and then share it on Facebook, share it on social media, and let people know that you did this and that you get clothing sent to your door, and it is gently used, and it's really, really good stuff. So that's really it. Thank you for everyone that was part of the announcement and that is part of this blog announcement and that you're hearing this. But just know that right now, the hard work for us behind the scenes happened from March until November 21st. But now the real work is letting people know and spreading the word. That's what we need help with, and we need help with our Kickstarter. So that's me just as a business owner just reaching out and just saying, at this point you can really invest and be a part of the future of Upshift by involving yourself in the Kickstarter and spreading the word about the online store. So if you're a dude and you're like, well, I want to do this, well, we only have women's clothes right now, spread the word. The more that we grow, the more we can offer, which means we could end up doing kids' clothes, we could end up doing men's clothes, maternity clothes. That is the ultimate goal, is to do that online and then to have a larger store space here. We can't do that unless we're generating a revenue. Dustin and I have always been committed about reinvesting all the money back into the business, and that is essentially what we've been doing. And so now is your time that you can help us do that, and by investing your time and energy and your funding into what we do. So that's it for now as far as the Kickstarter and the online business goes. Feel free to, like I said, email, and I'll scroll that across the bottom. Otherwise, go forth, be fabulous, enjoy your Thanksgiving. I know that's coming up in a few days. And I look forward to seeing your beautiful faces in the boutique and or hearing your amazing messages regarding what we're doing with our online swap. So if you partake in that, just let us know. Go forth, be fabulous. Thank you.